Hello dear students, this is the video made for MA Final Paper 1, that is Literary Theory, and in our last video we have discussed about the syllabus, and in your MA Final syllabus paper first is Literary. We will discuss here first of all what is literary theory. Literary theory refers to a set of ideas, tools, and principles used in interpreting a work of literature. It is the process of understanding what the nature of literature is and provides a theoretical framework for analysis of literature. If literary theory is the lens or framework through which a critic views a work, literary criticism is the act of analysis. And Plato's Republic and Aristotle's Poetics provided the first basic concepts of criticism. While Plato rejected poetry because of its mimetic nature, Aristotle advocated mimesis, means imitation, as a creative concept. Aristotle's contribution to criticism lay in his inductive treatment of the elements and kinds of poetry. Aristotelian notion of tragedy at that time became so popular that it is even used today for analysis of plays. And as you know that Aristotle's Poetic is also prescribed in your syllabus. So in this video we will discuss about Aristotelian concept of tragedy, and we will discuss the book Poetics written by Aristotle. So now on your screen you can see an image of Aristotle. Aristotle was disciple of Plato, and he was born in 384 BC and died in 322 BC. His works are Poetics, that is about literature, and other book is Rhetoric, that is about art of speaking. Aristotle is a great disciple of Plato. Dante called him the master of those who know. It was he who took up the challenge of Plato at the end of Republic. Poetry was not only pleasant but also useful for man and society. This was the concept given by Aristotle. The Poetics means that book Poetics is a systematic exposition of the theory and practice of poetry. The Poetics is an epoch-making work. Poetics was published in about 335 BC. The book Poetics is divided into 6 parts. In first part, there is introductory remarks on poetry and its classification. Second part is related to tragedy. Third is about poetic diction. Fourth part is about narrative poetry and tragedy. In fifth part, epic is compared with tragedy, and in sixth part, objections are answered. So, Poetics is a treatise of 50 pages containing 26 small chapters. And in this book, Aristotle has said that poetry is an imitation. Like Plato, too, he believes that there is a natural pleasure in imitation. And for the word imitation, there in the book Poetics there is a word used, mimesis. So mimesis is the other name of imitation. Aristotle says that imitation is an inborn instinct in man, constituting the one difference between him and the lower animals. Aristotle says that poetry's main function is pleasure. So he wants to conclude that pleasure as the end of poetry, and he also says that poetry has its emotional appeal also. Now you can see on your screen there is a definition of tragedy. So this is the gist of this poem, and we will here discuss about tragedy and further more topics, but now we will read out the definition of tragedy. According to Aristotle, tragedy is an imitation of an action that is serious, complete, and of a certain magnitude in a language beautified in different parts with different kinds of embellishment through action and not narration, and through scenes of pity and fear, bringing about the catharsis of these emotions. So, this was the definition of tragedy given by Aristotle. According to Aristotle, tragedy is an imitation of serious action of a human event. Now we will discuss all the points one by one according to the notes given here. So, first of all, in Aristotle's Poetic, what are the main is what is poetry? So, in the book Poetics, Aristotle has discussed about the types of poetry, and he is mentioning that there are four types of poetry. First is epic, second is tragedy, third is comedy, and fourth is dithyrambic. Dithyrambic means ancient Greek hymn. And the second topic in what is poetry is ways of imitation, that is mimesis. So here in the book Poetics, Aristotle says about the ways of imitation, and he divides it in 3 points. The first point is medium, and in this he says that kind of art, what kind of art is the medium of poetry. Second is object, the thing that is imitated, whether it be a people, a thing, or an event. And the third prime dividation of ways of imitation is mode. Mode is the way in which an object is imitated, like in narrative mode or in role play mode. So, the first topic in Aristotle's Poetic is what is poetry. He discusses about the types of poetry and the ways of mimesis. Second is what is tragedy. As we have studied it, that definition of tragedy told by Aristotle, we will read it again. That tragedy is an imitation of an action, serious, complete, and of a certain magnitude in a language beautified in different parts with different kinds of embellishments through action and not narration, and through scenes of pity and fear, bringing about the catharsis of these emotions. Now I will explain you the third topic, that is six constituent parts of tragedy. Aristotle discusses in this book that there are six significant parts of a tragedy. The first is plot, and for the word plot there is another synonym is myth. The second constituent part is character, that is also synonymized as ethos. The third constituent part is diction, that is also called lexis. Fourth part is reasoning or thought, and that was also called dianoia. Fifth part is song, and sixth part is spectacle, that is also called opsis. So these were the six constituent part of tragedy told by Aristotle. According to Aristotle, tragedy is an imitation of serious action of a human event. And when he talks about the first important part of tragedy, that is plot, he says that plot should be an organic whole. It should be complete, starting with having 3 parts in it, starting with beginning, in and second part should be middle, and third part should be end. So there should be a completeness in plot. And he again characterizes plot as a certain magnitude, means the plot should neither too short nor too long. Whether it becomes at the presentation level, he says that the presentation level of a plot should be dramatic, not narrative, and there should be use of diction, language, and embellishment. Embellishment means figures of speech. So there should be use of figures of speech, he says. And if we talk about the second constituent part, that is character, he says that the tragic hero suffering should be included in any tragedy. There should be a tragic fall through pity and fear, and at last there should be a catharsis. Catharsis, that is purgation. So according to Aristotle, the structure of the plot should be the soul of a tragedy, and it should have unity of action. Unity of action, time and place there should be present in plot. Emotion of pity and fear may be aroused by two ways. Spectacular means, and second way is inner structure of plot. And he says that finally plot is divisible in two parts. First is complication and second is denouement. He again explains that there are two types of plot, simple and complex plot. And complex plot should have peripecia and anagnorisis. Both peripecia and anagnorisis, because there is the element of surprise in them. So these two elements should be present in every complex plot. A perfect tragedy should be arranged not on the simple but on the complex plan. And when he talks about tragic hero, he says that he cannot be an eminently good man hurled from prosperity into adversity, nor can be a bad man. So he achieves the middle path, that he says that neither should a hero be a good man, neither should he be a bad man, nor can he be an utter villain. A man who is not eminently good and just, yet whose misfortune is brought about not by vice or depravity, but by some error or frailty, that is called hamartia. So there are many terms used by Aristotle in poetics, and now I am going to explain the Greek terms in the poetics. So the first term I am here discussing about is anagnorisis. Anagnorisis means recognition by the tragic hero of some truth about his or her identity. The second Greek term is used in this book is peripecia. Peripecia means reversal of the situation in the plot. The third Greek term is denouement. Denouement means the unraveling of the plot following the climax. Next is hamartia, the hero's tragic flaw or frailty is called hamartia. And the last Greek term that I have told you earlier also, that is mimesis, means imitation. So this is a brief note on Aristotle's Poetics, in which we have discussed what is poetry, types of poetry, and ways of imitation. The second thing that we have discussed in this video is what is tragedy. So we have discussed here the full definition as quoted in Poetics by Aristotle. The third topic that we have discussed here is 6 constituent parts of tragedy, that is plot, character, diction, reasoning or thought, and fifth is song, and sixth is spectacle. And at last we discussed here some Greek terms that are anagnorisis, peripecia, denouement, hamartia, and mimesis. So this is a general introduction about Aristotle and his book Poetics, and we have discussed here some of the main points of this book. I hope that all of you will understand, or we will, and you will comprehend the video, and you have to write some of the main topics of this book, and you should collect some of the informations your own, and I will give you a PDF related to the topic on our WhatsApp group. So thank you all, have a nice day.